It's time we still have a lot of questions. We'll go over those in the panel discussion later. Now it's time for us to move to our next speaker. So our next speaker is a growth-focused creative talent acquisition leader with more than 15 years of diversified executive experience spanning across ITS, BPO, and BFSI industries. So he's passionate for new hiring technologies and digital solutions and have demonstrated a global mindset in developing strategy, initiatives, and people. Let's all welcome the hiring function leader of Genpact Philippines. We now have Mr. Abhishek Bhardwaj. Abhishek.
Thank you, Aris, for the nice introduction. I'm very happy to be here, and thanks TalkPush for inviting me for this event. I would like to first share my screen and then let's get going. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, hello everyone. It's nice to network like this, in hours like this. And so I hope all of you are keeping safe, spending more time with your families than ever before, and enriching your learnings as well at the same time. Short about me. I'm working at Genpact Philippines as a hiring function leader. And let me take you back a little bit about me. I was born in a small district in India, moved to the towns during my teens, and ever since was fond of taking pictures. Thus started my own thing in photography as soon as I completed my schooling. But before I took up a job in one of the leading BPOs to support my earnings, my first job was with a voice travel agent, as a voice travel agent in IBM. And then I moved to the hiring function as a recruiter, and that became my new profession. You won't mind me telling you a little story around this as one of my experiences as a recruiter. That's a little funny one. So there was this guy I was interviewing for a healthcare business long time back in IBM. So as soon as we sat together for an interview, he asked me, "Do you guys drug test?" I said, "Yes, we do." For like all the drugs? I said, "Yes." So he said, "Okay, thank you for your time." And then he got up and just left. So why I'm saying so and why I'm telling you this story, you know why? This is an experience, right? This is an experience, and there are similar stories that a candidate talks about us and our companies or our hiring process in particular. And that is precisely we call as candidate experience. I would like to move to the next slide here. And so today we're going to spend a little more time on this. Coming back to my about me, I honed my basics of recruiting at IBM before moving to Convergys India, then to Genpact leading the India sourcing team before landing in this beautiful country that I can't express more, that I relate so much. Fun-loving folks, helpful, hardworking, a lot of places to explore, and at the same time, I capture a lot through my camera. On that short, not so short note, let's start today's session. So, candidate experience in recruitment, what is it? So, candidate experience is just the way people feel about your hiring process. I think this is the time for Aris to throw a survey. Aris, would you like to share that survey before we proceed ahead?
Yep, there you go. Think back to your latest application experience. How was it? Was it poor? Was it okay? Was it good or was it delightful? I'll give you a few seconds to answer, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, wonderful. A lot of people say 42% say good and okay, and rather 25%, which is 1/4 of them, say it's delightful. I'm very happy to see that only 4% say poor. So let's get going on this one. Sometimes we say, right? Sometimes we say, no matter what I do, rejected candidates will always post better comments online, don't we? It happens to all of us, right? But that's not mostly true. If I take you to the next slide, 79% unable to contact a recruiter. 58% employers don't communicate how long the application or interview will take. 89% says minimal job description. Rather, 60% were never asked to provide feedback on their interview experience. On the other side, if you look at the positive candidate experience, positive candidate experience gets you the right people at the right time at the right cost. You know this term which is universal to recruitment at all levels. It earns you candidates loyalty, enhance our reputation, foster new and repeat business, brings efficiency and process improvement. Now let's see how technology could be an enabler to better candidate experience. Okay, data shows next generation technologies like analytics would highly impact insights. Robotic and automation would again highly impact efficiencies. Some would also ask, so is technology going to replace human? I would say no. Human element is key to great candidate experience. As it said, job hunting would be awesome if employees would treat people like people and not other piece of paper. So it's very critical to look at that. Now let's see how technology can be enabler, right? Technology would not only help to communicate better, personalize the experience, identify tedious routine tasks where human recruiter adds little value. These could be fertile grounds for technologies like AI, RPA, etc. Right? Now, how to choose the best tools? This is one question that we talk about, that you know that technology is required, but how to choose a tool, right? I think tools that can address sourcing issues with volume applications are worth considering. Add thank you for applying video. You can do that anytime, right? So anytime that you had an experience, you can add that video at the very start of the interview as well. Notify candidates, rejected candidates via digital or personal means. You can plan a welcome pitch, whether it's you're hiring remotely or you are on site for an introduction. Use candidates feedback survey to reflect on efficiencies and make adjustments. It's very critical to get feedback from candidates, because that is something which helps you to know that how technologies or any other new thing that you have brought into the process is giving you dividends or not, or you need to make changes. So the key takeaways that I would say from this session today would be: write a clear job description. It's very critical, and there are several tools available to validate your language and content of your JD. Very important to improve your career side. I put this as one of the top contributors, because developing your career side, in a survey, it was said that 39% folks can be hired via your career site itself. Not just it saves cost, it is a great branding tool. Be transparent about your recruiting process. Very critical. The person or the candidate has all the rights to know what the person has to go through. So respect candidates' time. Very critical. Enable an easy to use application process like we do, and the way technology is transforming, right? Either we go to a grocery store or anywhere else, you need ease of use. So it's very important that you try to enable or introduce technologies to ease your process. Example, you can have access of all the tools on mobile. Person sitting at home can access to all the sites or all the assessment tools, given an interview, and you just have to call the person for an onboarding, something like that. Very important. Communicate. It goes a long way. It makes an engagement. It gives a lot of impact. Last but not the least, like I mentioned earlier, ask and give feedback. It helps you to do better and prepare better. I would stop today, leaving you all with this thought by Maya Angelou. At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel. So, very, very, very powerful statement. With that, I hand over this session back to Eris. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Abhishek. That's very insightful. I have a question here from one of the from one of the audience. Um, okay, the question is, sorry, I lost the question. Where was that? I was just looking at it earlier. Um, where is my chat button? Sorry. Okay, there you go. Any suggestions on how to do pre-onboarding during the ECQ, specifically completing the pre-employment requirements, like proof of government numbers, NBI, medical exam?
I think good question. Something that is a little challenging at times because uh, this involves checks from government, but then few of those things can still be checked. For example, if you want to check NBI can also be checked online, right? The medical exam, there are tools available that even we are exploring, that the person doesn't have to come online, but those checks can be done. The person gives their details, and there is a report that can come, and that will give a medical test report. But then this is, I would say, in a WIP stage, to be honest, because post onboarding, you can definitely do onboarding virtually. That is not an issue, but the documentation part plus the medical other formalities are still something that we need to figure out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks, Abhishek. There's also one more.
Yeah.
I think someone said, I think the challenge now is that organizations are rethinking their financials given the current situation and the transition to the new normal. How can talent acquisition still ensure a good virtual candidate experience when there might be limited or even no budget allocated for recruitment technology?
I love the question. I think it's a very, very valid question in this context. But then I would question this back, right? Costs will always remain. Not now, just even before that and after that. At all times, cost is something, is an arbitrator on against which everything revolves around. But more than I would say issues or uh, this has brought opportunities for us. We never thought that we can work this way virtually. So it's, I think it's a blessing in disguise how we can take it. I think it has covered a lot of grounds before we would have taken maybe 2 years, 3 years to come virtual in terms of hiring. We have leapfrogged that, and we have saved a lot of time there to come this far. And doing virtual hiring will, like I mentioned in my slides as well, it impacts cost. So you can save cost, you have better outreach. With the same outreach you can get more, which means you don't have to spend on a lot of such sourcing activities like going to a vendor or traveling and stuff like that. And it enhances the candidate experience, and a great candidate experience virtually will help you to retain more people, and a referral may refer more people. It's word of mouth. So I see a lot of positives and negatives in this.
All right, all right. Thank you, Abhishek.